As PFAS has been found at harmful levels in groundwater across the U.S., putting farms and rural communities both at risk. RFD-TV's Sarah Muck has an update on the federal reaction.
Experts say the risks to human and animal health associated with exposure to PFAS chemicals are mounting.
That it's not just cancer, it's not just effects on the immune system, it's also effects on development and reproduction and pretty much almost every system that you can think of.
PFAS compounds are commonly used in consumer goods like nonstick pans, but more heavily by the military and firefighters who use a commercial-grade flame retardant that contains the chemical. In 2018, a New Mexico dairy farm found their wells had been contaminated with PFAS from a nearby Air Force base. But farmers far from contamination sites have also been impacted.
Press reports describe a dairy farm in Maine whose milk was found to have levels of PFAS. It turns out that using sludge as fertilizer is a common practice in all 50 states, raising the concern that there could be widespread PFAS contamination.
EPA officials say they're working to address these cases by preparing to set maximum contamination levels, adding these chemicals to the toxic release inventory, and developing cleanup recommendations.
Our PFAS action plan, one of the actions is doing the risk assessment on PFOA and PFAS in biosolids. We've already met with USDA, and we're working on setting meetings with FDA. We're taking a look at the risk associated with potential contaminants in biosolids.
But lawmakers point out that many of these activities are still in the planning phase or yet to be finalized, and some are skeptical of what is likely a lengthy timeline for action.
Urgency. And I'd like to say I know it when I see it. I don't feel it.
401 active or closed military facilities across the U.S. have known or suspected PFAS contamination, and senators say the Department of Defense must take responsibility for that pollution because rural communities simply can't afford to. Experts say groundwater cleanup could take years and cost around $2 billion. For RFD-TV, I'm Sarah Muck in Washington.
Wyoming Senator John Barrasso highlights some provisions of a 2018 water law that included grants and research funding to address PFAS contamination.